We're still adding participants very quickly. 4:55.
How many students are in the entire school? We have a couple questions about how many people are supposed to be here. Of course, we want the whole school here, but I don't know what that number is.
The last we checked, it was around 652. I think it's a little higher than that now. Okay, welcome everyone. We are going to make history right now. We have never done an all-school virtual or remote assembly ever. So you're all 497 of you are making history with us right now. So a little bit about what this format is. This is a webinar format. So it's different than your Zooms that you have in class all the time. So in this webinar format, the chat feature doesn't work. So if you've tried that nobody can see that. I see many of you have noticed there's a Q&A button down at the bottom. So that's asking a question to the other adults that are in the room. So Ms. John Doe, Ms. Frank, and Ms. Blackburn are here to help. And if they can answer your questions along the way, they certainly will. Your classmates and friends can't see your questions, so it goes straight to the adults. So if you have something you need to know or want some feedback on, send them a question and they will do their best to answer it for you. So with that, let's get started. This is going to be about, we're guessing maybe about 30 minutes. And we have a couple of videos that we want to show. But before we get to that, we want to just reflect on the first trimester. We're almost done with the first trimester of remote learning. And we know many of you have worked hard in your classrooms to stay up to date with your math and your reading and your writing and your science and your social studies and your related arts. And it's a lot. And there's been a lot of good things happening this first trimester too. We've had a Spirit Day already, that Purple Day, and we have PJ Day coming up next week, Friday. So they have that to look forward to after this long weekend we have coming up. So PJ Day next week, Friday. Our student ambassadors have worked hard to bring us those Spirit Days, and they've worked hard at giving us feedback on how well things are going and some things that maybe we could improve. We've been meeting with them every 3 to 4 weeks to try and get feedback and see how things are going. So they're the voice of your classroom. So if you have questions or anything you want them to pass along to us, be sure to tell them. We have another meeting come up in a couple of weeks. We've had a lot of tech help from students. Excuse me. Our SWAT team, our students working to advance technology, has been making tech tips for us. They did the Spirit Day video. They're interviewing teachers to help us learn meet our staff in different ways. Just been very helpful. We've had the Green and Healthy Challenge going on. That'll finish up next week. Over the last 2 months, we've had hundreds and hundreds of entries into that Green and Healthy Challenge. So a lot of us are making good choices out there, which is fantastic. We got the Jamboards today, all the thank yous that you sent to your teachers and the staff here, and that really brightened everyone's day. So we appreciate all of you that reached out with the thank yous on the Jamboards. And Ms. Jonlin, I love it when we hear from you about shout outs and jokes in the announcements, because that helps us. Then we don't have to find some, and it helps that you're recognizing others in our building. So we appreciate that as well. Battle of the Books update. We're going to miss, when we come back from break, we're going to give you some updates on where we're at with Battle of the Books. We're going to have to do that remotely this year, and Ms. Wendorf's been working hard at that. So, because I know many of you are checking out hundreds and hundreds of books. I can't believe how many books that we have coming in and out of our library right now. It's just absolutely fantastic. And I did hear the top books checked out right now for Battle of the Books are New Kid, Short, Wish, and Benefits of Being an Octopus. I don't know that one, so I might have to check that one out. The Benefits of Being an Octopus. So, so keep checking out those books, because we're going to have a new way of doing Battle of the Books this year. All right, Ms. John Doe, what are you thinking about this year so far?
Well, I agree, Mr. Momartz. We certainly have a lot to celebrate. Super proud of so very many of you and your kindness and your supportive actions. We've already survived almost an entire trimester of virtual learning, which in and of itself is worthy of a celebration. Also, we want to recognize that there have been some ups and downs. And we know that sometimes have been super fun and exciting, and other times have been challenging. And just to recognize that and know that that's okay, because we're all learning and we're all doing things for the very first time, like this webinar, for example. What an awesome experience for all of us. However, we do want to make sure that we are continuing to support one another by being kind to one another, by picking each other up, and by taking care of ourselves. So one way I know some of you have done this already is by checking out the virtual calming room. My fave is the live animal cam. I've already gone in and watched the beluga whales and the aquariums, and I've been in classrooms where teachers have shown you a couple of activities that are available there as well. So take time when you have a moment and visit that place. It is such a great resource for all of you, whether you need a break or some physical activity or just a moment to kind of chill and bring yourself back. So lots to celebrate, but also make sure we're taking care of ourselves. And now we are going to get started with our character awards.
All right, so these are our CIA awards. Sixth graders, you will probably remember this from last year. Fifth graders, CIA stands for our Character in Action Awards. So the character traits we've been looking for in our classmates can be found in the touchstone. The touchstone that we say every single Friday, and it should be coming up on your screen right there. So you can see some of the key traits that are important to us in this building. So like being respectful, responsible, resourceful, honest, kind, and fair, inside and outside of the classroom. So these are the traits that we are using when we're trying to figure out who our CIA winners are, because there's so many of you demonstrating all of these wonderful traits. However, each trimester we do pick 2 from each classroom. So let's just take a moment and see who our CIA winners are for this first trimester. Well, congratulations to all of our winners for this first trimester. And we also know that many of you are right there with them and take pride in your character. I know we push academics hard, our math, our reading and writing so hard here, yet your character matters so much, and following that touchstone matters so much, and sometimes even more. It has such an impact on all those around you. So continue to work on your character, especially this week when you're going to be around lots of family, for maybe more family than normal perhaps, but continue to work on your character and celebrate it with those around you. All right, shifting gears a little bit. So let's jump back to October. We had a supply pickup opportunity in October where we also asked you to bring in some stuff. So we asked you to bring in some clothes, some new clothes, winter clothes for those that needed it in our community. And many of you brought in jackets, hats, gloves, mittens, which was fantastic. And that helped out our community. And many of you brought in some food donations. And the tradition with our food donations is we have teachers that volunteer. Oh, and there's the picture. Look at all that food that you brought in. They filled up Mr. V's back room. Fifth graders, Mr. V's our head custodian, and we had to store it all back there. So look at all that food. So the tradition around here is our staff like to offer just a little bit of, you don't need motivation to be generous, and you should never need motivation to be generous. However, we know that sometimes you need a smile on your face once in a while, and our staff wanted to do that for you. So we had about 30 staff members volunteer to get pied. From that 30, we picked 10 who volunteered to get pied, 10 based on how much food that was donated. So sixth graders, if you remember last year, we had to do it a little different this year. One, we had to do it outside, and two, we did this about a month ago. So we did have to we're able to have a small group outside in order to do this. We had to throw the pies this year from 6 feet away. That was probably the biggest difference, because if you remember sixth graders, there wasn't any throwing. It was kind of walk up and put it right in somebody's face last year. So we actually had to throw it this year and stay apart. We did have to wear masks and we wore our gloves because we have to stay safe. All of us have to continue to stay as safe as possible. So it's a little bit of different this year than last year, but I hope you enjoy this video showing who got pied and how it all turned out. Should be coming to us momentarily.
Ready?
Let's do this! Come on! She's excited. Look at her. She's ready. Oh, hold on. Okay. Okay, ready, set, go.
Miss John, I want chocolate. I want it all. Don't miss.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Don't miss now. Don't miss. Come on, right here, right here, right here. Right here.
All right, I'm hoping you missed. On the screen. No, you cannot. Put down my shirt. Oh, you're gonna do a double hand? All right. Okay. Are you okay? Yes. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Go matrix style on this, Tia. Bring it. Yeah. Bring it.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Brace it. Enjoy it. Good. I hope I hit you in the face.
I hope so too. Got it! Well done! All right, all right. Oh!
Well, that was fun. I got to say my favorites were probably Mrs. Miller and Mr. Gage. I think they got it the best or the worst. I guess however you want to look at it, not quite sure. So we know you don't need extra motivation to be generous, especially this time of year, to be generous and continue to think of others. And we hope this provided a little smile on your face on our first snowy day of this school year. So parents will get a note back to the CIA where the parents will get your CIA slideshow later this afternoon, so they have a chance to see it as well. And I wanted to say, as we start to wrap up here, I wanted to say a quick thank you to Miss John Doe running the computer, Miss Frank and Miss Blackburn for getting us all set up. I just had to sit here and talk, and they kind of took care of everything else. So a great appreciation to them for the first ever all school webinar assembly. And we got up to about 559 people, I think was the highest that I saw, which is pretty much our whole school. So that is fantastic that we're able to come together just for a little moment here and celebrate what we've done so far. And with that, we've come to the end of our assembly. And you know how I'm going to end it. First, I hope you have a great long weekend. And I want you all right now to name something good happening around you. Take a moment right now. What is it? Something good happening around you, because you know if you look for the good happening around you, the good only gets better. Have a nice long weekend, and we'll see you again soon.